Well, greetings there, repairers of Land Rovers and probably many other things. Today, this is an impromptu introduction. Looks like I've got a task ahead of me. I've just discovered that my car is leaking and it's coming in through this back pillar. Very nice, very helpful. I did have a little inspection yesterday. I thought it might be the beading around here needed resealing, but to no avail. So that's my investigation. It's only just started doing this. I've driven through rain before and it's not done it. So let's have a look and see what we can find. Okay, so I got myself a little jug. I've got some water in a bucket. I'm just gonna think about it. I mean, we've got places up here, like we could get water coming in here, and then we've got all this bit down here that runs down. The slightly weird thing is that the water's getting here, but I don't know, quite how it gets there, if that makes sense. There's definitely been some into here. Danger is behind here. I checked yesterday, so if you can just pull this out. If you lift up the seal, this is only on a few clips. You just pull it out, like from here, and it will come out. Down in there is an ECU, so we don't want water getting in there, definitely not. So the thing with Range Rovers or any modern car, you don't want water in them because they're full of electronic devices. So I mean, slightly luckily I've got this rubber mat down here, so I've got a little bit where it's at least giving me a little bit of a sort of fingerprint. There's some water in here. I did take this off yesterday and there was some water behind it, but I just need to have a little go at finding out where this is coming from, because it wasn't doing this when I got the car. I initially thought it might be this, so yesterday I kind of squeezed this on tighter, but it's still leaking. So we've got a few areas. I know the sunroof drains are a big problem on this car, and they can block up. There's no water. Usually when the sunroof drain goes, it's on the B pillar that you see water coming in. So this is right back like the D pillar. So not convinced it's the sunroof, but it could be something to do with around the rear screen, or so we're gonna have a think and see if we can work out what's going on. Of course, when you actually pour water onto it, it never leaks, does it? So it's just going to keep going. Oh. Big leak. Okay, so we have poured some water in here, which I can't really see very well. And from pouring water in there, so it's flowing out from here, so the water's coming down and behind, and then getting onto here, so that matches. I'm just gonna take this out again and have a little look if we can work out where everything's coming from, but that's certainly not a good thing. So I decided to take this out as well and have a look. And on my tyre compressor, just noticed there's a load of water that's come here. So there's something to do with these that is definitely wrong. Okay, so this panel's not too difficult to get out. It's a bit of a pain to work it out. The hardest bit I found last time was to get this stupid airbag thing out. Hopefully it'll be a bit easier today. Awkward things. Okay, so that's that. There's an 8mm bolt. This is the normal little hex bolt behind there. Then you have to just pull a bit of this seal up so you can get to it. And then there's a couple of clips behind it. You pull it out like this, and then a couple of clips. This one there, and then it's got to come out this way from backwards towards me. It's a little bit awkward, but it does come out. Right, the evidence is pretty damning. It's wet under here. Now I've got to be, this is wet. The thing is that under here, it's not wet. So it can't be a major leak, but the water's just running down. So we're going to have to try and drop this down a bit. Okay, so I'm going to take these off. So there are a couple of bits that you do to take this off. There's these on top of the seat belts. So these are just sort of plastic clipped on bits. So you have to just give them a bit of a encouragement with the tool, and then they just sort of remove badly, like I've done it. And that gives you access down here to remove. I suppose if you were taking this panel out as well, there are fixings under there by the looks of it, so you might want to know that. There's another one of these airbag cover things. This one was easy to take off. The one on the other side is really difficult. They're all 8mm, so take this off, and then you've got a door seal around here, and then if you expose the bottom of the panel, you can start to sort of do it. So I'll start from the top. Again, these are just clipped on kind of thing. There's only actual one proper clip on it, and once you've kind of released it, it comes out like that. So these two springy clip things here that are metal, and then there's one here. So the one at the bottom pushes in, and then the other two are actual fixings. So there you go. So the result of this is I hope that I'm going to get a bit more movement in my headlining now, so I can get behind those rubber connectors. It's actually really annoying me, this job, to be honest, because I wanted to do something different today. Yeah, what kind of idiot buys a Range Rover or a Land Rover product? Right, this is getting quite annoying. I'm finding I'm getting sort of big creases in here if I'm pulling it down from the back. I've just got to get access to underneath those pipe connector, flexible connectors for the wiring. So I've already done the other side, but I've got to take, there's an 8mm in there, and then, oh no, they're not, they're Torx. They're something like Torx 30. I'll put the thing on the screen, and there's two under here. So the ones on here are underneath these little flappy bits, which are hard to display. And then this is actually quite a pig to get out, because you feel like you're going to break it, but you just have to be sort of quite persistent with it. But it just feels like really unnatural to remove, which is horrible. You think you're going to break things, but if you just do that and wiggle it around, it does actually come out. So it's just quite frustrating. Nice Torx fixing there. There you go. Just about with my fingernail, and then there's another Torx in there. So I'm just going to take these off. Starting to get actually even more annoying, this repair. You can see it's dropped down. So I've just got to get it to unclip on this side a bit. I'm going to be really honest and say I'm not enjoying this, just because, again, this always happens when I'm going away. So we've got these connectors on top. There's plastic clippy bits here, and you literally can just push in under here. It's like a plastic clip. Ugh. And they pop once you push that in. So I've already done it on the other side. Actually kind of pop out, and you can see they're pretty rubbish. Bad design, Land Rover special. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is have a bit of a clean out. And this has been leaking for ages by the looks of it, because it's a bit wet, but it's all going to be mucky in here because these are on the external of the vehicle. It's just such a terrible design. I don't even know how you would go about replacing those, where the actual connectors are. You have to take loads of wires out, and they just got, when they're in, they've just got quite a lot of movement in them. So I suspect what we'll end up doing is putting some kind of sealant in there, just trying to reseal them down. Just despair. Good old Land Rover. Okay. The other thing to note is there's mastic stuff which I keep getting stuck to me, which is also annoying me. So just be aware of that. Try and avoid touching it. Just to note, I've also taken this panel out from the top. It's where the right at the top, you can kind of unclip it and manipulate it out. It's just clipped in with not very tough clips, and it just comes out from up here, and then you can manipulate it out, just so I can clean all of the gunk out from in here, just so when I seal it, it will be clean. And I'll put that panel back in before I start putting these in to seal. Okay, it took me a long time to clean all this out. I cleaned all of these out on the, I think they seal from the bottom. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm going to put some kind of sealant under here. I've had to clean out all this. Took this out and put it back in. It's a bit of a game to do, but ultimately it goes back in and it seems happy enough. Clean this one out and around sort of the metal, so that when we put some kind of, I'm going to put some strong kind of sealant on here. I've put this back in before I do that, just because I didn't want to have to push it across, because it's a bit of a kind of manipulating thing. So once you seal those, you don't really want to be moving them around. So I'm going to do that and then clip them in, and then basically it's just kind of the reverse of process, is putting everything back together. I suspect there is possibly a recall for these, because that's definitely a real design failure, the way that they are designed, and I don't think very much of them really. Okay, after a bit of sealing, I put those back in. We will find out. I'm gonna now put everything back together, and then I'm gonna leave it, and I'll report back after a couple of days. It's the winter here in the UK, so unlikely that it's not going to rain again soon, and we'll go from there. Okay, we're a couple of weeks post that sealant repair, and although it's been profusely raining in the United Kingdom for the past few weeks, we do not have a leak. So it looks like sealing up these fellas up here has in fact cured the issue, and I'm very happy. So that's how you repair that particular water leak down the D pillar on a Range Rover Sport L494. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.